The hot heat has set in, so I thought I'd try and throw this up as soon as possible because I did a couple of shorts where I showed that I'd got a bunch of Monotheme perfumes and the two limited editions from last year from the Acqua Colonia perfumes from 4711. Now, I love 4711, so that's kind of an easy one for me to talk about because I've got loads of them. I've had loads of them. My husband has some as well. I really love those perfumes. I think they're brilliant. But I'd never tried Monotheme before. Like, I mean, I've seen them many times. I've seen them in TK Maxx popping up. I knew that they sold them nowadays in Marks and Spencer's, and I've seen them all over the place. But in Marks and Spencer's, these are around. They was kind of between like £20 and £25, and that is for 100 ml of a eau de toilette. So you know that's still pretty cheap. But I saw them on makeup.uk and I thought, okay, I'm going to try these because they're much cheaper on there. I think they were between like £7 and £15 on that site. They sell out on there all the time, and then they get new ones in, and then they sell out again. So they're obviously quite popular. So anyway, so I thought I'd get this haul up because this is the weather to be wearing. I think all of these perfumes. I think they're all really better in warm weather. So I've got 5 of the Monotheme. I'll start with that range. My overriding feeling about Monotheme perfumes so far, is it Monotheme? Excuse me, I'll probably get it wrong. But they have like quite a similar DNA. Outside of the orange bottles, which are kind of their own little range within the range. All of the other ones that I've smelled, there's something in the dry down that smells quite similar. And it's not something I find unpleasant, but I recognise it in, 4 of these perfumes. I get that same kind of smell in the dry down. So that's really interesting. But so yeah, you can definitely tell like the Monotheme style of perfume. And I also think they're all extremely light. They don't last very long. I would say these are about the same potency and have about the same longevity as the Acqua Colonias. Now those are not eau de toilettes, they are obviously they're supposed to be eau de colognes. So in fact I have some of the 4711 eau de colognes that are stronger than designer eau de toilettes that I have. So it's a bit all over the place, but I'm going to start with Cherry Blossom. This is the one that I got from eBay because they'd sold out on makeup.uk, but they don't actually have notes normally on here. They kind of talk about the general vibe of it, fruity, soft and musky, all that kind of thing. But they don't necessarily have notes, which is a bit annoying for some of them, because some of them definitely don't smell the way that you would necessarily imagine. Or they've got names like Bloom, and you know, it's like, well, what does that mean? What's in it? So let's start with Cherry Blossom now. I like this one. Cherry Blossom. It's kind of, I think this is, I don't know if this is as dark when you first get it or whether it's darkened up. This one's quite sweet. I think these are really cute. These, the lids are very plasticky, but they're super cute. I like these bottles. I think they're quite smart. You know, they're nothing like amazing, but I think they just, I don't know, they're just kind of classic. I'm just going to spray this out. So the deep dry down of this smells a bit vanilla-y, and I think that's what I'm getting in nearly everything that they do. There is a slight sweet creaminess in the base of pretty much all of these perfumes. I don't know if it's a musk or whether it's just that they all have vanilla. This is Cherry Blossom, and Cherry Blossom, I think, is more cherry than blossom, if that makes sense. It's making me think of like cherry cordial, cherry syrup. And the kind of like cherry jam that you get in Danish pastries, that kind of thing. I would say there's definitely a very slight almondy vibe to this. And I think that just happens a lot with cherry perfumes. I think there's so many cherry perfumes that kind of take on almost a very slight marzipan-y smell. Luckily, I love that kind of smell. I love marzipan and I like cherry. So this is nowhere near as floral as I was hoping it would be, but I still really like it, you know. So let's have a look. Fragrantica says the top notes are cherry, middle notes are cherry blossom, base notes are musk and woody notes. I don't find it massively woody. It's definitely musky. You get a bit of floral cherry blossom, but you get a lot of cherry, and it's a red, sweet cherry. There's still a tangy tartness going on here, so it's not like sickly. It's not like Lolita Lempica kind of sweet levels, you know. It's not that kind of cherry, but yeah, it really reminds me of cherry Danish pastries, but without the pastry, if that makes any sense. So I do like this one. It's light, it's really easy to wear. It would be a super easy reach in warm weather. And it's definitely a fruity floral, pushing towards fruity on my skin. So Cherry Blossom, that's a really fun one. I like that one. I'll happily wear that. Let's then do, okay, one that I can't get along with. This is Bloom. And the notes on Fragrantica literally just say floral notes and citruses. So again, like there's not a huge amount. You've got kind of different flowers here. I'm not sure if these are all in it. I definitely think there's something rosy here. I think there's probably some jasmine. Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of flowers on this. But this is another one that I think is pushing more fruity than floral. Well, no, the deep dry down is very floral, but the citrus is really noticeable in this one. The problem that I have with Bloom is that this is a very pale pink, very pretty. There's definitely rose, maybe like magnolia in this. It's, yeah, you can smell that much more in the dry down. There's something a bit screechy about this one though that I can't get along with. I don't know if it's because there are screechy white florals in here that are mixing with the citrus and are just going really, really sharp on my skin. I'd almost say it's almost what I get sometimes with red currants or white currants in perfumes, that it gets very, very sharp. It's quite tangy, and the tangy sharpness stays for ages. Like this sprayer, I mean this card that I've got this on, the floral dry down of this is from yesterday. So in a very deep dry down on your skin, then I guess it'll be much more floral. But I did wear this out. I've worn both of these, not for a whole day because they don't last for a whole day, but I wore both Cherry Blossom and Bloom. I think I've worn for maybe like 4 hours. They pretty much are gone after 3, to be honest, but Bloom just did not work for me. It just became really, really sharp, quite fruity, and like I said, like it's more of a kind of like a very sharp berry smell than necessarily just citruses, but you can smell the citruses instead. But again, in the dry down, the more it dries down, the more I'm getting that kind of sign of sweet, slightly creamy, almost vanilla-y smell. There's still that in this one as well. So again, there's something in both of these that is the same. It might be a musk. That's what I'm thinking now, to be honest. I'm thinking it might be a musk. And that would make sense, you know. So what's up next? Let's have a look. Let's do one that I like. So this is Nymphaea. This one, I wasn't entirely sure how I'd feel about this, but I really had high hopes. I do tend to like, I don't necessarily always like aquatic, and then with a name like Nymphaea, I was like, well, that'll probably be aquatic. It's obviously like some kind of lotus, like water flowers on the front. And I was like, oh, I'm going to take a chance, because it was only like £8, or maybe actually slightly less. Plus, I am digging this bottle. I love the blue liquid of this. I mean, it matches my room. It's beautiful. I love it. It's so cute. So Nymphaea. Oh, I really like this one. Again, there is that slight creamy sweetness in it. This one actually does list vanilla. Ooh, okay. So the notes listed for Nymphaea are top notes citruses, middle notes lotus and blackcurrant, base notes amber and vanilla. This is so delicious. It's like a really nice summer perfume. What I like about this is it has an aquatic vibe, but it's not like seaside aquatic. It's not salty. I quite struggle to wear salt. We will talk about that in a bit because I have a salty perfume here. But I do, this is more like a kind of cooling like lake or something, you know. It's more that kind of aquatic. It's like a freshwater aquatic rather than a salt water. It's so pretty. Now, this to me is like a mixture of a couple of my favourite perfumes. It smells like a combination of my brocade, blackcurrant perfumes. I've got two of them. I've got blackcurrant and mint, and tomato leaf and blackcurrant. They both smell pretty similar. And tomato leaf and blackcurrant used to be my signature scent for a couple of years. So I love both of those perfumes. Neither of them last very long, but they're lovely. They're like musky, bright, citrusy, kind of fruity, green yumminess. But it also smells a bit like green tea by Elizabeth Arden. It does smell like this could be a tea perfume. I would not be at all surprised to find out that there is tea in this. If that is actually on the notes. I'm going to have a quick look at the back. I mean, I don't think it will. Citrus accords, lotus flower, blackcurrant. Oh, they actually list some of the and warm vanilla and amber. They actually list the notes on this. I wonder if that's why they've got a more detailed note structure on the Fragrantica compared to Bloom. Because I'm looking at Bloom and there's nothing that's specific. They have got. Oh yeah, they've got the cherry blossom one. They've got more cherry blossom and sweet top notes, musky, soft woods. Yeah, I mean it's really random what they put on the back of these. Like they could just include all the notes, but yeah, it's very strange. Okay, I love this. I can't wait to wear it. What I've been doing is I've been wearing the other ones that I wasn't entirely sure about, so that I know whether I can declutter them, because this is the perfect time of year to be wearing these perfumes, because they're really like good. They feel like they're going to be good high heat summer perfumes because they're light and they're fresh, you know. So if I'm going to declutter some of them, I would rather do that kind of in the warmer months so someone else can get a good use out of them. But this one, I can't wait to wear. I think it's absolutely delicious. I really love this bottle because I just love that blue colour. So yeah, I'm into that. I think Nymphaea is lovely. Then we got one that oh my goodness, I'm genuinely sad about this, because I smelt this in Marks and Spencer's. I smelt a couple of, more than a couple. I smelt a few of these perfumes in Marks and Spencer's, and I also smelt some that I wanted and then I couldn't get hold of, so I just decided to try some others, just because they were so cheap on makeup.uk. Like most of these were £10 or under. I think this was another one that was under £8, so I was like, I'm just gonna try this and see. Camellia, I smelt this in Marks and Spencer's on card, and this one's a bit painful for me because I do actually really like the way this smells, but I tried to wear it and it just, I can't wear it. So let me just put this one here. And I do know why as well, and it's not because it's not a nice perfume, it's very much personal tasting. So Camellia, this one, when I first spray it, I'm totally in love. There's also something kind of baby powdery about this, I won't lie, and I like baby powder perfumes, so I mean I literally have Demeter baby powder. I really like it. So this is like baby powder with a lot of vanilla. So what I start to get on the card once it's really dried down, and then what I get on my skin to an excessive degree, is that vanilla. It's like a really creamy vanilla, and again it has the same kind of vanilla-y, musky, sweet, slightly creamy dry down that all of these have in there somewhere. But this one, someone described this as a vanilla cake with like sugared flowers on top, like sugar camellia. And as far as I understand, camellia is not a flower that has a scent, so this is like an imagined scent of this flower. I think it's lovely. I think people would smell amazing in this. I can't wear this because I cannot cope with very flowery vanillas. So, I mean, this one's making me think of things like Vanillary from Lush. and like Vanilla Fields, the old Coty perfume. So particularly if I can get any sense that there might be jasmine in something when it's mixed with like a really like slightly perfumey vanilla. And because this one also has that kind of floral baby powdery vibe as well. I'm really enjoying smelling it off the card, but when I've tried to wear this, and like, so when I first got it, I tested it. I also wore it one morning to see if I could like get along with it, so I actually had it on my neck. As soon as it wasn't on my neck and it was actually on me, I was like, no, I can't get along with this. And it's purely that, you know, floral vanillas just absolutely can't do. I can do like fruity vanillas if they're like custardy. I have one floral vanilla that I enjoy in cold weather, and that's Poem by Lancome. And there's something about the fact that that's kind of honeyed. It's almost got like a honey and custard smell. This is much more of a traditional like vanilla that you get in perfumes. It's a perfumey vanilla to me, this, even though it's quite creamy. It's so pretty. On other people, I'd absolutely love it. I can't actually wear this, but I would highly recommend it. If you like things like Vanilla-y and you like things like Vanilla Fields and you like floral vanillas, oh my goodness, this is just like so pretty and it's such a bargain. Yeah, I'm actually genuinely sad I can't wear that one. So this is from Monotheme's special collection. These are vegan, and this is called the Book of Citrus. So there's lots in this range. There's quite a few that I want, and this is one of the ones that I was kind of looking at and I was considering. The one that I actually really wanted is the it's called Green Orange, I think. And that one, I liked the idea of like orange and orange peel. This one, as you can probably see from this, is Orange Blossom. So this is like bitter orange and orange blossom. Now, I am pretty fussy about Orange Blossom, but because this is like, I saw some reviews and I read them and they were saying there's like a real candied quality to this. It really smells natural. It smells like a literal bush of, or like an orange blossom tree. It really smells like sitting under a tree. And I was like, okay, I'm quite looking forward to that. So, and I think you can kind of tell that there's a different quality to this compared to the others. These are more expensive, but I think this was still only about £15, but that's because I got it from Makeup UK. These are £25 from Marks and Spencer's, and I've got a bit of a plastic on the top of this. Okay, I mean, it's a very cool bottle. I mean, these are beautiful. So I fully plan to get the lime one, and I fully plan to get the green orange, which I really, really want. This is very bitter and green while also being sweet when you first spray it. It's definitely Orange Blossom. I'm super fussy about Orange Blossom. I don't have many Orange Blossom perfumes because I find that they can be very overpowering and sickly in perfumes. But what I like is when I get an Orange Blossom that smells quite natural. So at that point, I can live with it a bit more. So I have, I think it's called Pomelo something. It's from Scentology, and it's very much an Orange Blossom and grapefruit perfume. I really like that one. It's probably it's not my most Orange Blossom like perfume necessarily, because I've got Mambo by Liz Claiborne. That one's mango and orange blossom. That one's really, really nice, but there's kind of lots of stuff going on in that perfume. It's quite sweet. The Scentology one smells basically very similar to, I think it was actually called, was it called Pomelo? There was an old Acqua Allegoria I had from Guerlain, like very, very long time ago when I was much, much younger. And it smells very similar to that, the Scentology one. I like it, but it definitely smells like I've had a shower and washed my hair using some kind of grapefruit, orange blossom shampoo and body wash, but like in quite a nice quality way. And this one reminds me of that specifically in the dry down. But when you first spray it, you get that really sharp, like bitter orange. You get a real green orange blossom smell, really green and leafy, pushing towards like a neroli, I'd say. But the more it dries down, the creamier and prettier it gets. And by the time it's properly dried down, it smells exactly like a really nice fancy hand soap that I have. So it is soapy. Absolutely. And to be honest, I find Orange Blossom and Neroli always find it really soapy. But this one smells like a kind of lush soap, if that makes sense. This doesn't smell like a cheap soapy perfume. It smells like a very good quality bar soap, fancy natural ingredient kind of soap, you know. It's very pretty. And now I've got this struggle going on between the amount of times that I actually choose to wear a soapy Orange Blossom, and therefore only really needing one, and whether I want to keep this one or whether I want to keep the Scentology one. The Scentology one, what I like about that one is that it's kind of peachy and grapefruity when you first spray it, so it's kind of fruitier than this one and not as green. But when it dries down, it's very similar to this one, but this one I think smells like a better quality when it dries down. Do you know what I mean? That one smells more like a body wash. This smells like an actual bar soap, and I do love perfumes if they smell like a bar soap. If they push too much into body lotion smell, then I can have a bit of a problem, but actual bar soap perfumes I tend to like. It's really pretty, but it's the scent bubble is really small with this one, and it doesn't last very long. But I do think it's gorgeous, and I really like it. And I think for like a bright green, fresh summer perfume, this is beautiful. I'm really hoping to get my hands on, like I said, the green orange one. It might be green mandarin actually, and the lime one. But yeah, I mean, I think that this range will probably be my favourite from this brand, if you see what I mean. There is just a slightly different quality going on here. I feel like you can tell that the ingredients are a bit more natural, you know, and I think you can tell it's a bit more expensive. And I'm not snobby like that. I love a cheap perfume, but I think you can actually tell with this. So yeah, so that's that one. That's the last of the Monotheme perfumes. Okay, let's talk about the limited edition Acqua Colonia. Let's start with Pomelo and Sea Salt. I took a real chance getting this one. I think I got this from Perfume Dreams. It's the only place I've been able to get it. This was 2022's special edition, limited edition from the Acqua Colonia range from 4711. Now, I've just seen that their ones this year are peony and sandalwood, and the other one is freesia and musk, and I'm like, I am so desperate to get my hands on those because I don't know about I mean, I love sandalwood, so it depends how woody it is and if it's a creamy sandalwood, and I trust them to do peony in a way that I don't find too screechy and sharp. But my goodness, I want freesia and musk. I love freesia, I love musk, so I really want to smell that perfume. Oh my goodness. So this is the gorgeous bottle for the Acqua Colonia Pomelo and Sea Salt. It's so lovely. So Pomelo Sea Salt, I've been trying to get hold of this for, well, basically since they came out this time last year, or earlier than last year. But I finally managed to get it delivered to the UK from Perfume Dreams. It was £19 something. This is a 50ml eau de cologne. There is definitely something I love about this, but it's far too salty for me. This is incredibly salty. It also kind of smells like sexy salty skin, but it's just way too salty for me. Like, if I just spray a little bit on me, I really enjoy it. As soon as I spray a bit more, so I could never wear this on my neck, for instance, but I also find it really delicious at the same time. So you definitely get a sharp and fruity grapefruit. There's not a huge amount of sweetness going on here, but because there's so much salt, there's like a rich beachy smell about this. I wouldn't be surprised if there's like maybe some kind of birch wood or something like that in here as well. It smells like the Mediterranean Sea though. This doesn't smell like a kind of tropical suntan lotion beachy smell. This smells like a very salty like sea crashing against like big craggy rocks, you know. This doesn't have like a golden sand salty vibe. It's definitely more of a cliff, you know, like a sheer cliff kind of vibe. Yeah, it definitely has a Mediterranean smell about it. I'm so enjoying just sniffing it from here. But when it warms up on my skin, it's just too salty. I mean, I can't get around it. I really like this. I do actually wonder, this might be one that I let my husband smell to see whether he would like it, because often with Acqua Colonias, if I either don't like them or I can't wear them or they lean a bit too masculine for me, I'll let him smell them, and if he likes them, then he'll just take it, because like, you know, I like smelling him in things that I like, do you know what I mean, but things that I can't wear. So it is kind of magical though, I won't lie. Now I'm gonna just go straight into the next one, because these two layer really well. So Acqua Colonia, this one is coconut water and yuzu, and again, you can't get any other extra information about the notes in here, but I never believe that it's only those notes. Sometimes with the Acqua Colonias, like the lemon and ginger one, that's exactly what it smells like, but then you get like goji and cactus and it doesn't smell anything like you'd imagine. There's definitely vanilla in it. That one almost smells like there's praline or something in it. So this one is a kind of regular strength and longevity for Acqua Colonias. This one is very, very light. It's very much a skin scent, but it's also so pretty. Okay, so this one's staying with me. Beautiful Acqua Colonia. Just gorgeous. It is a not too sweet citrus from that yuzu, and a not too sweet coconut from the coconut water. Now, this smells incredibly similar to one that I used to have. I'm just going to find it. Well, I still have it actually. I still have a massive bottle of it, but I do plan to get rid of it. I was thinking I might use it as a room spray, but now I have this one, I don't really want to smell it all over a room, if you see what I mean, because they're a bit too similar. So the one that I've got packed away is... Oh, my phone is beeping. Please ignore that. This is... where's the name of it? From Clean, and it's the Air and Coconut Water Eau Fraiche. So I love the Clean Laundry and Lavender Eau Fraiche. It's like one of my favourites. But this one I couldn't get on with, even though, I mean, I feel like I should have. So I found the notes on the Clean website. Top notes: Italian bergamot, lemon and blackcurrant. Heart notes: coconut, freesia and rose. Base notes: musk, tonka bean and a solar note. Now this smells almost identical to that perfume, so I imagine it's sharing slightly similar notes. The problem I had with the Clean one is that it smelled a bit dirty to me. It smelled like a dirty coconut water, and having drunk coconut water, I've had it like straight from coconuts, and it's like quite an unusual flavour if you're not used to it, but it's kind of, it's nice. I like it. It's refreshing and lovely. When I've had it from like cartons, when I've had like the stuff that you get in the supermarkets, there's this weird, almost muddy dirtiness that I sometimes find, depending on the brand. And that's what that Clean one smells like. It smells like a slightly dirty coconut. And for some reason, those fruits smell like an incredibly unripe pineapple to me. So there was just something in it that I just couldn't get along with. I just couldn't wear it. I just wasn't keen. This smells very much like it when you first spray it, but then it kind of mellows out, and the coconut water, which smells much cleaner, and the yuzu, which probably just smells like citrus, doesn't smell quite so pineapple-y. It doesn't smell as floral, I think, is probably the problem there. It then becomes slightly more creamy, and you get a tiny hint of like a creamy coconut, but it's still very watery and fresh. So pretty, so lovely. I really, really like it. It's really beautiful for high heat, and I am filming this in high heat. So I've been testing these out this morning, and they're really good, both of them. But I'd say unless you know that you absolutely love salt in perfumes, I would not say that this one's worth trying to find. This one I think is worth trying to find, but again, only if you really like coconut water and like freshies that are that kind of vibe. So These two though smell really good together. Like, so when I was testing them, I had them on different arms, but the general kind of vibe, I thought, ooh. So I then sprayed another bit of this. I sprayed this over the top, and they just honestly worked really nicely as a pair. I'm not sure that that's always the plan with the Acqua Colonias, like the limited editions. They do tend to come out in pairs, and I'm not sure if they're deliberately for layering, but these two work so well. So again, if you want both of them, they work really well, because this tones down the saltiness of this one, and this one just brings a kind of strength and like a kind of a thicker base almost to this one, although this one is definitely the more dominant. So this, you will be left with more of the pomelo and sea salt unless you keep topping up on the coconut water, because this one's definitely stronger. But I just think they're really nice. I think they're great. I love Acqua Colonia. I so want to get the ones that have literally just been released this year. I really hope that they don't take a year the way that these did to arrive on any shops that ship to the UK. But anyway, so I've got my eyes on the other ones I want from here. I was considering, I quite want to try the one that's, I think there's one called Monoi, and there's a tuberose one that I'm quite interested in sniffing if I can. I might see if I can go back to Marks and Spencer's and see what they've got in stock, but they only have a small selection of the Monotheme. I don't know why. But yeah, so I hope this was helpful to anyone who's thinking about it. I think they're both, I have to say, they're obviously both quite nice cheap ranges, but I think I much prefer Acqua Colonias. These are to me the budget version of the Galane Acqua Allegoria perfumes, and I just think they're fabulous. I adore the bottles. But if you're really interested in citruses, I think the Book of Citrus is like a fabulous range within these. With the exception of Nymphaea, I don't think these smell particularly special. And again, this one is like a black, if you can imagine green tea with loads of blackcurrant and a bit more watery. Then that's kind of what that is. So it just happens that falls into my wheelhouse, because I adore tea perfumes and I absolutely love green tea. But outside of that, I think this is a really special collection, and that's definitely worth looking into. But I'm not sure that these are, I mean, I don't think these are necessarily worth £25 when I consider that I can get these for 20. I mean, you get more of them, but most of these don't last as long as most of the 4711s. So anyway, so that's me waffling on for long enough. I hope this was helpful. I tried to make sure I got this up while it's really hot, because I think these are all really good summer perfumes. Bye guys, comment below, and don't forget to subscribe if you like my videos. It really, really helps me if you do.